Hello, everybody.
This is a cage.
Yes.
We're gonna take it down.
And we have a special guest now. Introduce yourself, Teo.
What?
You just introduced him.
I'm just messing with you. Okay, so
You just
first,
I know.
so we're gonna start
Yeah,
with.
that's
Okay, you guys, you know about how David Cage did Kara and the Dark Sorcerer, where this was the short prototype thing he did before Heavy Rain as a showcase for the PS3. Basically, this is the first of Quantic Dreams short, shall we say?
What the?
And yes, that's David Cage. And yes, this is the actress who plays Lauren. This is how she was cast.
Oh, I.
So that's right. We're actually watching the casting session for Lauren's actress.
I get it. They're pulling one of those.
The only only if she was a Muppet.
I get it. They're pulling
Keep in mind the motion capture being used here was just a prototype. So
David, why did you zoom in on the crotch?
Well, Pedro,
Hey,
to be honest,
What is time?
go ahead, Teo.
Okay.
to be honest, Pedro, LA Noire was also made for the PS3 and had an extremely perfect motion capture.
Yeah, but when did the Ellen
Don't worry,
come out?
Joe.
Wasn't it 2011?
Yeah,
I think
Noir was
2011.
Yeah, but this short came out in 2007. So
Oh, okay.
it's not really comparable.
Okay.
However,
Better than you.
LA Noire still does it a lot better than Beyond Two Souls, which came out in 2013.
So he saw
Jova,
this actress
even-
and he
even
thought
Unshot-
that she was perfect.
Even
Okay.
Uncharted 1 does better than Beyond. Anyway,
True.
okay, let's try to listen to what she's saying,
Yeah,
because you know,
as I was saying.
basically she's talking to her husband who just came home.
I like. I get it. They're doing
she
this
fall asleep?
animated. Okay, seriously, is the call lagging, Dwibs?
No, it's
No.
not.
I'm acting.
I'm acting.
Yeah.
Technically not acting because this is behind the scenes.
Basically,
So
she's
this was her audition.
okay. Since you guys are not taking paying attention, I'll just say basically she's tired of her husband cheating on her.
Wait,
I did
what?
not.
Well, he didn't pay attention to what she was saying.
That's
so-
true. It's bullshit. I did that.
I wish.
I did-
The problem is that unlike Beyond Two Souls, the extras in this game don't have subtitles, so I can't do anything about it. Sorry.
Oh, hi,
Okay,
Cage.
Okay.
Oh, hey,
In that
John,
case,
you
guys.
like that
Okay. In that case, guys, yeah, let's try and listen to this a bit more then.
And then my whole world falls apart.
She has all the emotional range of a ball.
So one question, Joe, is this also the same actress?
You know,
after
it's
she's
it's dramatic because there's a story.
I like the music though. I'll admit.
50 Shades of Cage.
Yeah.
Anyway, Pedro, as I was
Whoa.
asking, is this also the same character who's also coming for that film shoot?
That film shoot. What are you talking about?
Then I can do without.
Wait, no, like the earlier scene, like when she came in for
That
the film.
face.
Oh wait, mine. Oh wait,
But then I changed my mind.
is she acting
After all,
for
I'm
a?
the one who's cheating.
She's
A,
she's auditioning for for a role in David's
Yeah,
game.
this is her audition.
Alone, sitting in
Oh,
Pointing a gun to your head. Okay.
obviously.
I don't know. Something about this feels a little.
Yes,
Unneeded.
she's got all the acting ability.
Basically, the point is she planned on
Joe,
She was thinking of killing herself, but then she thought, no, actually, no.
Joe,
You're the one bullshitting me. Why? I should just kill you.
Jervis, she has all the acting ability of Talisa Soto.
Dwebs, we get
That's
it.
not a good thing.
We get it, Dwibs. Jeez.
Also,
Did I?
Pedro, maybe I already asked this, but I have
I
a
like this
question.
something.
Did you actually include it in this playthrough the DLC about her character?
Actually, Teo, that taxidermist DLC is
Please
about
don't point that gun
Madison,
at me, I
not
didn't do
Lauren.
anything.
Wow.
What? Sorry, didn't hear
I
that.
saw this.
Goodbye, my love.
The DLC is about Madison, not Lauren.
Hey.
Oh,
And she shot David Cage.
Wow.
Oh.
That was quite an intense audition, I guess.
Did she shoot David Cage?
you wish. But anyway, yeah. Regardless of the character, did you still
can't
include
believe
No, I
that?
didn't. I didn't.
Hold on.
I didn't do the DLC episodes of neither Beyond nor this game
Well,
because
I
honestly.
know that Beyond the DLC episode is pointless.
Oh, and the Heavy Rain one was also pointless. Like it's just
What? Oh, I get it. So wait, virtual actor demo. So was this like an actual like simulation of what her actual audition was like?
yeah. Okay,
Crackle
so okay,
virtual.
okay.
Wow.
Okay, Dwebs, let's try to pay attention to this one because I'm sure Dwebs will love the acting in this one.
You know what? Actually, this gets me making me think. If like, well, what if like for the actual audition, David Cage had anyone who auditioned come and meet him while in a motion capture
This
suit?
seems like we're about to, like, that intro seemed like we were going to go into a bad horror film.
Yeah.
So this is your big day, huh?
Am I grown up now?
Ugh.
That's not exactly grown up, but you're getting there.
Okay, so this is
Stephen
Pascal
Barnes.
Langdale. And yes, like it's just like in Beyond, they made the characters look exactly like the actors.
They don't even know how to do behind the scenes right. They're like, okay, tell us your name. It's like, it's...
You know what's
Oh,
This is weird, behind the
acting.
scenes.
He's acting. Sure.
Oh, okay.
they actually? Wait, this is acting?
According to
I honestly thought it was behind the scenes at some point. That's not because I couldn't hear it. I heard it.
Okay,
Is he acting that bad?
Yep, he's acting that bad.
I can tell he has some French DNA by the haircut.
No,
they're all
no,
French.
Theo,
They're all
the
French,
big
yeah.
problem with the acting in this game is that it's French actors trying to sound
I know,
American.
I know, but this guy looks a bit French.
He's
by
French.
the
He's
haircut.
just plain French, yeah.
The guy looks like he's about to burst into laughter.
See, he's got the biggest smile.
I don't know what happened.
I did not hit her, I did not.
I have to save Sean at all costs. Maybe
Well, he's a better actor than David Cage.
Tear me apart, origami killer.
Literally.
Keep in mind, David Cage
I am the
heard him
Omega
do this.
villain.
This is what made David Cage hire him. Keep in mind.
I'm sorry. He actually thought it was a good idea to have this guy in a motion capture suit. Now this explains why Ethan is so on and off. I'm guessing that they probably had to animate his motions to actually be the right ones.
Oh boy.
Thankfully... Oh.
Well,
I'd like a room.
For you, anything.
Mr. Anderson.
That's for sure.
okay, so this is Janky and
Jackie Ainsley.
a French,
Jackie
a French actress. She's playing Madison.
Jackie Ansley. She looks way different from Madison for the motion capture.
Thankfully,
Well, the great thing
the
about-
Italian version of this game had a solid voice acting, so we probably skipped the part of, bad acting.
The great thing about motion capture is that you can get actors who don't look at all like the characters, and in motion capture you can just edit them in post.
The miracles
Trying to
of
make
Photoshop.
sometimes motion capture unnecessary.
Look, no, Joe, but it depends. Like,
Well,
for example,
okay,
like,
okay. Actually, I take that back.
Like,
Yeah.
like for example,
Imagine
like for
motion
example,
capture can work.
Troy
That's
Baker
something
doesn't
about
look.
facial.
Oh wait, I love this one.
Oh, this.
got a better plan. I'm willing to listen. Don't be all ears.
This is amazing.
Hey, man.
So
don't
yeah,
fuck
Leon
yourself up.
Okenden, the guy who plays
I'm guessing
Norman
this guy's
Jaden.
American. Jaden actually sounded American as well.
Is
Oh,
he Michael
no.
J. Fox?
Oh, let's listen.
You beat him all night to make him talk. He would have confessed.
Okay, this guy he can
Hold on,
actually do
listen.
a good American accent. I'll give him that.
Your person is a heap of shit.
You know what? Okay, that guy was the best actor in this game, hands down.
Sick child killer, but he has nothing to do with the disappearance of Sean Mars. We have lost time for nothing, and all this time that continues, and all that time it continues to rain.
Yes, I know he does the New Yorker accent thing.
Anyway, like I was saying, Jova, Troy Baker doesn't look the least bit thing like Joel.
Joel.
Yeah, but
I know.
It
but
doesn't
he
even
still,
look much like Desmond
but he still
Rowe
pulled
from
off a
Into the
voice that
Saxon.
fit. But he still pulled off a
I know,
performance that
Pedro,
fit the character to a T. So.
I know, Pedro, hence why I sort of took back my thing.
So this is the actual American actor in the cast, Sam Douglas. And yes, he looks just like Scott.
How do you become a private eye?
Well, I was a cop for 20 years, and one fine day, my wife...
And he's the most convincing actor here.
Well, yeah, I guess him and the guy who did Jaden. Those are the two best actors.
that I know they have a mistress. It's like a little kid.
Odds are this is all their only acting roles.
You know,
Huh?
Wait, Sam Douglas hasn't been in anything after this?
I don't know, but I think if
Let me check.
If the performances are this bad, I'm pretty sure this is probably their only role.
14 casting sessions.
How popular this game was at the time.
Oh, the guy who did Blake there. And here's Lauren, of course.
Oh, God.
I still can't believe that they actually wasted a whole animation sequence on her.
Sam Douglas made only as a
That's
video
right,
game
everybody.
voiced only Shelby in Heavy Rain.
457 actors, and yet this is the people they got. Okay,
Yes.
the guy, that's fine, but everyone else.
His most recent role was in The Sweeter Side of Life in 2013.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, so Durs will appreciate this one, I'm guessing.
Kate music.
No, he actually starred in the Highlander TV series.
Oh, really? Who was he?
He, a delivery guy in the first episode, in one episode.
Oh.
No, hold on. I am confused. It's called Baxter in one episode.
Oh,
David,
more
why
facial hair then.
Yeah.
Is he a neckbeard?
Was he trying to be the Mountain Man at some point?
Okay, so here's the orchestra. Norman Corbell, who unfortunately has passed away since making this game.
I'm afraid I'm Norman Corbell. I'm afraid
He's the French composer. Like he's not known in worldwide.
But sadly, I don't think the music is all that great. No disrespect to his memory or anything, but I'm gonna
it tries too hard at times as well.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I have to be honest, guys. Even when someone's no longer with us.
Yeah, of course.
I can't just.
Oh, by all means.
I can't just double back on an opinion just because someone's passed away. Otherwise, that would be even worse.
Yeah.
I agree. He's talking about putting emotions into the music now.
Well, to be fair, you kind of have to do that in music.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, it's like, well, isn't that kind of something?
Yeah,
that's
the problem.
obvious?
The problem is that when it's David Cage talking about emotion, it always comes across as pretentious.
Wow, the dev team looks really like a bunch of hipsters.
Hey, that might actually explain quite a few things.
Seriously, Phil Fish it looks nothing
Welcome back.
like these guys.
Hold on, Shiro, you're back? Oh, okay.
Abbey Road Studios, eh?
Yep.
I guess.
Ooh, this is where they recorded some famous film scores in the past. Like I think some of the Harry Potter films were scored here.
Yeah.
I suppose it has a good acoustic.
I suppose.
You need good acoustics.
So, what's your take on this track, Dwebs?
It's like they're trying to do the James Bond theme, but they can't.
Hey, this guy looks awfully familiar.
Trust me, Joe, we don't know him. He's a French composer who hasn't really done it.
I know. I'm just saying
Physically, he says physically, yeah, he looks like someone else. Bill Gates, maybe.
A fusion between Bill Gates, Harry Potter, and
Elton John.
Peter from Spider-Man 3. And also a bit of that guy from Seabiscuit.
Never seen that.
We may commentate on that.
Is it bad?
No, it's not bad.
It's got a pretty silly name.
It's based on a horse named Seabiscuit. What? You never heard of Seabiscuit, Wibbs?
I've heard of it, but I just think it's a very silly name.
Sea cucumber, not biscuit.
It's never mind. Don't want to go too off track.
It also helps. It also helps that David Cage started out as a composer, so he knows a thing or two about music.
Yeah, I'd love to say that David Cage trying to write, direct, and compose.
Where? Wait till
David Cage trying to become the Charlie Chaplin of games.
Really?
Apparently, yes, that's right, Tio. David Cage actually started off as a music composer instead of a film director or video game designer.
Okay,
and
so
somehow he
Okay, so those were all the special features in the original release of the game. Now since I have the movie edition, we can check out some more special features that were added in the movie edition. So the first one, the Origami's Trail. This one talks about how brilliant the... Actually, I'm picking the interface first because... oh yeah, the Origami Trail is not an interesting game. I skipped that one, I forgot. Okay.
Origami Trail, what's that?
It describes how supposedly clever the plot, the plan of the Origami Killer is.
Called for a new type of interface, both in terms of navigation and interactivity.
With a move remote, nonetheless.
Inside realistic sets with a real cinematic feel. We couldn't achieve that with a
I love, remember, speak the most bullshit as possible.
Hey guys, should we tell them about all the other games that sort of did this before them?
No,
like
don't.
Dragon's Lair.
Remember, if people think District 9's original, surely they'll fall for this.
Yeah.
Fibs, should we tell them that people have sort of caught on to this game's BS in the year 2015?
I don't know.
Hold on, the man is talking.
Oh, wait, now he's shaved all of a sudden?
Why are you so fascinated with David Cage's beard?
Jover, is there something you're not telling us?
Oh wow! I'm sorry.
Is this Pedro recording his controller for the playthrough?
No, it's not.
You wish.
Okay, so the scene that they used while talking about, using the controllers, was the scene where Ethan was sort of having that night with Madison.
Also, I am not that calm when there's a button mashing going on.
Quite a simple decision to make because we felt that when your character was
well, that's one
David
thing
Cage.
that's true. It is rather
David Cage. Bonus points for using the 6-axis, which was an underutilized function for the controller.
I honestly don't like the 6-axis.
There's a reason
honestly.
why no one uses that anymore.
I honestly don't really like the 6-axis controls, honestly.
Me neither, but I can appreciate at least they were trying to use it more, because it was at first it looked one of the things that Sony tried to push but then forgot quickly. But then someone tried to savage it, like EA with Mirror's Edge or this game. The problem is that the 6-axis is an imperfect roll.
Yeah.
The only games I can think of that use this were this and Metal Gear Solid 4.
Sure, are you back?
Question of the interface display.
Okay, just checking.
Then came very quickly.
Really? I couldn't hear her.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I was just checking if she was here. She's not, but I was just.
Okay, Pedro. Just wait till you fix her icon. Oh, there she is.
Hold on. Oh yeah, this was the earlier interface. It used to be like that.
Why couldn't it have been kept like this?
Because not emotional enough.
I don't know what it's worse, this mechanic itself or the fact that the Order 1886 implemented this. I'm not even kidding. The interface of the QuickTime events is practically identical to this.
Okay, here's an interesting thing for you guys. This originally they were actually going to plan to make a motion control accessory for specifically for Heavy Rain, but then they cancelled it when Sony announced the PlayStation Move.
That controller looks huge.
Yes, the PS Move, because that went on so wonderfully. Though I do have to wonder, how amazing would it have been for them to sink so much money in a controller literally for just one game?
Guitar Hero?
Guitar Hero is actually a franchise, though. A series of games. I mean, this sounds like they were making it specifically for just Heavy Rain.
Well, Sony was putting a lot of money in this project, so.
I know, but I mean, I don't know. It seems a bit goofy.
I'll be right back. I need some tea.
It's Quantic Dreams,
Quantic Dreams.
Exactly.
I feel so sorry for these people.
I love how the woman looks positively bored while talking about this.
Yeah. Hey Pedro. Doesn't it remind you of our Beyond?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next
where we literally had
hold on, Jova. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next extra. Jova, would you mind reading the title of it? when it
This
shows up.
video contains spoilers.
Hold
The
on.
making of Heavy Rain.
Hold on. There we go.
No!
I don't get it.
It's emotion too. You see, the running thing with David is always talking about emotions and how emotions are the key to the war, to the secret of the universe.
Oh boy.
Oh, God, that hurt. Okay.
That's
Okay,
right. That's
I'm
right, Teo.
back
The
now.
man
I believe
actually
that-
believes that he can create emotions into people that people never felt before. The man actually thinks he's a god.
Oh boy.
Shiro, you're still there?
Touches, I think, on the emotional
Oh,
fiber.
not anymore.
Oh, I was muted. I didn't realize. No, what I was saying was after this video's over, you should send Tio the link to his press conference
Oh, okay. Yeah.
where he talks of nothing but polygons.
Yeah.
So it's a game.
That reminds me, but yeah, Pedro, does this remind you of our... What the? Wait, there's a part where she can actually be in a bra or something?
Yeah, there is. That scene when she was doing that stripping scene to Paco. I chose not to strip though.
Going to demonstrate, I hope.
Oh.
You see, you
There's
see,
a-
you see, Teo. David Cage believes that the most important thing about video games is emotion. To have the player be emotionally invested in shit. The problem is that
Hey,
he doesn't.
Teo,
The problem is that he
thing about
doesn't
this-
realize that in order to do that, you need to good writing and. You know.
Hey, Tio, fun fact. You know during that scene where she can apparently strip, apparently that's supposed to be a scene showing her as a strong female character. How exactly is she a strong female character? Well, by ripping her clothes, making her more revealing so she can sneak in and pretend to... like nookie with a man just to get info out of him.
We spent about a year doing
Yeah.
sessions.
Can I just say,
There
can I
is
just
no
say
way
how
you
the
can't
voice
be
of David
peaceful
Cage doesn't
suffering.
seem to fit this person at all.
That's kind of what makes him funny though.
He looks like he's voice acted.
Can't be people from Britain.
Plot twist: David Cage is actually a puppet, and there's another French guy controlling him.
Actually, I've got the controller in my hands and moving it around.
Create the body exactly at the same size and the same height and everything. And then they come
I'm sorry, what does this have to do with creating emotion?
No, the acting, Jova.
Walks, all the interactions, all the dialogues.
No, but he was talking about creating the body size and whatnot, though maybe I just...
If only they showed like a fly on the wall.
Oh, but that's the thing,
documentary.
Jova. Unlike instead of good writing, David Cage believes that the best way to achieve emotion is to have the characters look as polygonal as and wonderful as awesome. You know, polygons is emotion.
Pedro.
Visual aspects can only get you so far.
Hey, Pedro.
Oh, listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this.
What the fuck?
David Cage tried to act.
You know what?
Hold on.
I do beseech you to return to the realm of shadows.
They have a full script. And
This acting.
Sorry,
Go
Pedro,
ahead, Vips.
you know what I'd have loved?
What?
If you had a fly on the wall documentary about David Cage writing this thing.
I am the wall documentary. Now that would be quite a treat, don't you think, Shiroy?
Definitely.
Okay, writers. Sorry, ghostwriters. I need to figure out this scene. Jaden is emotionally distraught after shooting a man. Madison goes to comfort him. What do we do?
Okay.
More shooting.
No.
Sex.
Yes, perfect. Sex.
Why is Pascal not funny here?
And also, why Pascal? Wait a minute. Pascal's British. He sounds British.
No, he's French.
He sounds British.
It's because when French people try to simulate an English accent, it's much easier for them to do a British one than an American one. Because Europe and shit.
For this particular role, I went to there's an institute called it's called IGAP.
Even though there's a whole body
Oh,
of
look at
water
that! Look at that! To prepare
UK.
himself for the role, the actor who played Jaden actually went to an FBI, went to an agency that taught them how FBI agents work. So yeah, the actors make more research for their movie than the filmmaker does. Brilliant.
Amazing.
Well, isn't that what an actor's supposed to do?
Well, you know what? This explains why Jaden actually seemed like a legit American. Somebody actually did research. Thank you.
Pedro, isn't that what an actor's supposed to do anyway?
I know. That's what I'm saying. The actress put more effort into this than the filmmaker did.
Which is sort of a bad thing for the filmmaker's job.
Okay, so this is the Heavy Rain premiere event in Paris.
Wait, so let me get this straight. It's a game that takes place in America, but premiered in...
Since when was this the In the Air Tonight music video?
Wait a second, that was a premiere for a video game.
And yes, that's Terry Gilliam, Dwips.
That's not Shiroi.
Wait to see who the main people who were.
Believe it or not, Dwips, Terry Gilliam is a fan of this game.
Oh, God.
Shiroi, you know about Final Fantasy 7 Advent Children?
Video game.
Shiroi, you know about Final Fantasy 7 Advent Children?
Neil Abut. I don't know what he did. All of a sudden, like I think he did something famous, but I don't remember.
Yeah, something famous you don't remember.
I'm expecting Troy Baker to throw paint at everyone.
Nah, this was back when he was doing Final Fantasy 13, so he was too busy for this.
Troy Baker wasn't really. I don't think Troy Baker really crossed swords with David Cage yet. It was at.
Oh, here he is. Hold on.
Choices all the way down, and you don't know what the consequence of those choices are going to be. And unfortunately, as the FBI guy, I killed a religious nut.
Why is there a premiere for this game?
What that's going to do to me later in my life. I think I was
Seriously?
Seriously?
Guys, I don't think this is a movie seeing. I mean,
and it took me ages to work out how you.
Why does Terry sound American?
Movements of the control thing aren't the normal violent ones.
The control thing.
Develop a rhythm, and you slowly. You bring her back to life.
What the fuck?
God damn it! As if his direction.
As he smoked crack.
As if his direction of the Dr. Parnassus.
Okay, where are the video game critics? Why is it only film directors who seem to be
Joe,
here?
but this is a film festival.
But it's a video game.
Also, sadly, game critics also tend to focus mostly on, at least for that time, they tend to focus on Xbox 360 games. So Sony exclusive kind of passed under their radars.
Yeah.
Is that Birdman in the shadow?
Fortunately, it's no longer the case. Okay, so that was the whole thing of the premiere event that I wanted to show, so I skipped straight
Anyway,
to the next
Shiroi, what I was about to say, you know about Final Fantasy 7 Advent Children?
It contains spoilers.
Yes.
Movie, yeah. It was shown twice at the Cinema Festival at Venice.
Yeah, it was. Oh, here it is.
Nonlinearity.
This is basically them showing how much the choices do affect how the plot goes. Which to be fair,
they threw it all away for Beyond Two Souls.
Which to be fair, yes, Shiroi, they do affect.
They do.
Well, they're gonna show. Well, they're gonna show some good examples in this extra. So let's pay attention.
I just don't get it though. Why did they throw away the choice with Beyond Two Souls?
I think it was because they had little time to develop the game.
Actually, wasn't that Theo?
David blew the budget of Ellen Page, so he couldn't make one ending.
David Cage just wanted to write his personal fan fiction, and he couldn't allow the players to deny him the possibility of a naked Ellen Page showering.
The first example of non-linearity is in the Happy Birthday scene. It's based on the fact that the player's time is subject to a predefined time.
Well, this is the first chapter, so it's mostly the non-linearity thing they're talking about is mostly about how you can go to various places and do various things. Yeah, but it gets more plot involved later on. Hold on. This is not the best example, but they'll show a better one.
But they familiarize the players with the basic principle of Heavy Rain. Nothing is really story-driven. Once he is logic, encounter several.
What is it? Hold on, Theo. Is everything okay, Theo?
No, I just said nothing is story-driven. Fuck you, David Cage.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing. It's like, wow, yeah, for one moment, nothing is story-driven.
No, I mean, that's a terrible generalization.
Yeah,
here
then
it is.
again, David Cage tends to love to talk in generalization.
See, they're talking about how if you don't put him to bed early, he'll get reprimanded by his teacher for falling asleep in class and shit.
Next time, we'll really put it together, okay? And this is the third type of non-linearity. scenes where the consequences are really important for what
Oh, here we
comes
go.
later. Thus, when Shelby encounters Lauren for the first time in Sleazy Place, he can succeed in getting very important information for the rest of the investigation.
Not that any of it matters.
Succeed in getting himself thrown out of the room without any information because of his rude behavior.
I bought 10 minutes of your time, didn't I?
Get the fuck out!
In the same way, when Lauren is attacked by Troy, does Shelby intervene or does he leave them to it? These choices will naturally have consequences for Lauren. Later, in the supermarket,
There we go.
Shelby can prevent, by word or deed, the hold-up man from attacking Hassan, just as he can let poor Hassan get shot.
Okay, give them this. Yes, they pulled off the matter of choice very well in this game. Although still, they should have allowed, you being able to manipulate who the killer turns out to be.
Yeah.
In the same way,
that would have been the ultimate thing.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
This...
If I lose if I fail to fight against Mad Jack, you can see the and here's the. I can choose to kill him or not to kill.
If the player decides to spare the dealer, he will not have the hangman letters corresponding to this trial.
Exactly.
This will hamper his progress in his search for Sean.
Well, when you have an experience like Heavy Rain...
Star Trek 3, The Search for Sean.
The game over status doesn't really mean anything in matter of storytelling. It doesn't really exist. So
oh yeah, that was what I was talking about.
New ways of treating failures.
Yeah, that was me. That was the okay. They're showing off various alternate scenarios,
like when character dies.
It's just an information that the script takes on board.
There are many scenes
Wait.
where the heroes can die.
Wow, what is it,
which
Wibs?
will influence
never mind.
the game. If Madison is killed by the dock, she will never get to Shelby's apartment.
Exactly.
Similarly, if Ethan is arrested by the police in the On the Loose scene, he will not be able to get to the origami rat trial. Moreover, the final scene, the warehouse, can be played out in several different ways.
Yep.
Ethan,
Like for example, if Madison is the only one who gets here, there's a completely different chase sequence involving Madison and Scott Shelby that is very different than the one fight he had with Norman.
and vice versa.
In fact, I think they're going to show a bit of it, aren't they? Or not?
So how was
we were
Scott
showing a
dying?
bit. Yeah.
I forgot. It's been a long time since I went for that route.
Heavy Rain is not a game in which, although there are several different possible routes and actions, there is only one ending. There are many endings that necessarily vary with the player's choices in the course of the adventure.
Again, why did they throw this out in Beyond Two Souls?
Because
Come on.
Jova, we get it.
Because Ellen Page, Jova. Jova, don't you get it? David Cage met Ellen Page.
Page.
Shiroi,
He has a disturbing obsession with her.
Shiroi, what's your take on these choices?
The take on the what? Sorry.
Your take on your take on these choices.
Each character can end up in different
ways. They work.
Okay.
They're not great, but hey, like
see, there we go. There's one in the lower part. You can see Ethan looking at his son's grave with Madison. So that was what happens if you fail to save Sean.
Wait, I thought you said that Ethan hangs
Oh,
himself.
here it is. Here it is. Dwibs, Teo, and Jova, and even Yushiro. These are the deleted scenes from the game, and this is the explanation for Ethan's blackouts.
Oh,
okay.
This is something I don't know, so okay.
Okay, let's try to pay attention.
This is going to be fun, isn't it?
Let's try to pay attention, guys. Let's try to pay attention.
Shelby entered Anne Shepard's hospital room just after Madison. He hugged her in his arms and then smothered her with a pillow. We decided to exclude this very violent scene. A man who venerates the concept of the father to such a degree, and by extension the concept of the family, cannot kill his mother like that. And although we learn that Anne's son never visits her, it may have been too radical to envisage Shelby getting rid of his own mother, who is senile to boot, therefore incapable of remembering that he is there.
Ignoring the fact that she managed to luckily remember some stuff that gave Madison information.
Yep.
Who is desperately seeking a father worthy of the name in a world that has disappointed him.
What? So let me get this straight. The reason they
Hold on,
took
Jova.
was...
Ethan's blackouts. Ethan's blackouts.
Whoa.
Find himself in a sort of
Whenever he has a blackout, he goes here.
house underwater.
What? Weird, but awesome.
A dream.
That's actually kind of cool. It reminds me of Knights a bit.
Yeah, it's the dreams where he comes across one of the children who has been killed. Yeah, here we go. So basically, what? Hold on. I'll wait for the explanation. Wait for the explanation.
After Ethan puts his son Sean to bed, once Sean is asleep, Ethan goes back downstairs. But when he reaches the bottom of the stairs, he sees water on the floor at the front door. He turns around and sees water coming down the stairs behind him. The water continues to rise. Looking out the windows, we realize that the water outside is already higher than the house. Ethan runs toward the front door.
It's a lot of rain.
When he gets there, the door literally explodes, and an enormous body of water submerges.
Literally explodes.
The second blackout, which is much more spectacular, happens when Ethan loses Sean in the park. The camera started to tremble more and more, and a tsunami.
Oh crap, shaky camera.
Random tsunami.
Sequences have actually made the game somewhat more...
Hold on, they're gonna explain too.
But these sequences would have actually made the
Let
game
him explain,
more fun.
Jova.
Okay.
Shelby was present at the time of Ethan's accident, and a special bond was forged between them. From then on, Ethan accessed Shelby's mind whenever he killed
What the?
You know what? That actually would have made
That's
sense.
classic David Cage. That's classic David Cage.
You know, as corny as that is, that actually would have made sense. That would have made sense.
Ethan goes to Carnaby Square, the place
Job is repeating himself. Job is repeating himself.
So is Dwibs now.
So is Dwibs now.
Hold on.
because they made the story too complex and introduced.
Oh, fuck you!
What?
I'm out.
No, hold on. See, Job, hold on. You didn't listen to it all. They said that they made the story too complex and introduced a paranormal element that didn't fit into the game's world.
This scene shows us Ethan getting out of
So let me get this straight. The reason we don't have those blackouts, which actually would have made the game, more interesting and actually somewhat metaphorical in a sense, and actually would have helped make sense of why Scott all of a sudden has this infatuation with Ethan, was taken out because they felt it would make it too complex.
And the fact that it's a paranormal shit and it doesn't fit with the... Okay, David.
No!
If you took the,
you know what, Pedro? I'm gonna be honest here. They reminded me of the Scarecrow sequences in Batman Arkham Asylum.
You know what I think. Here's my take on it. Okay, so you took this out because the paranormal shit didn't fit. Where was that decision when Fahrenheit?
Jover, please do not shout.
Where was that decision when Fahrenheit was made? Just saying.
Or Beyond Two Souls.
Well, no, Beyond Two Souls was supposed to be paranormal shit from the beginning, from the very concept.
Jover, please.
Okay. But also, let's remember. What about the little tank scene with Norman?
I don't know.
It was in the process of being redecorated.
Yeah, originally her apartment was supposed to be under construction or something.
Anyway, I apologize for screaming.
So basically what they did was...
I just don't understand, though. It's like... I mean, it's like they come up with the lamest excuses to get rid of anything that could possibly make the game more fun or interesting.
See, here's the thing.
Call of Duty.
Here's the thing.
Call of Duty.
Hey, just like with Ellie and Beyond Two Souls, military.
I
mean, Jody.
Okay, now here's something. Now we're gonna see something that I'm sure Dwebs will fucking love. The thank you trailer. What is the thank you trailer? It's the trailer where basically the Quantic Dream made to thank all the critics who praised this game.
Oh boy!
Wow!
Thank you, you moron.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Keep the change.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's professional gaming critics.
Okay, let's watch this.
No, actually, it's read. It's read. You don't have. You can talk over.
Okay.
You can talk over it if you want.
Can I read it?
Sure. Go ahead. Dwebs will read them. Dwebs will read it for us.
Yeah, I need a text so I can't see anything.
Oh, hold on. There you go.
Okay, a whole new genre of cinematic-infused entertainment is born.
LA Times.
LA Times.
So we know who to blame, okay.
Revolutionary, 10 out of 10. Town.net. The most influential critic in the world.
Please tell me there's also Kotaku in this.
No, actually, I think there is. Actually, I think there is.
Yeah, let's find out. For mostly engaging thrill rides from start to finish, 5 out of 5 GamePro.com.
Notice how a lot of these are from websites as opposed to, official big name.
Actually, IGN is in it.
Written and brilliantly written and directed, 5 out of 5 GameBlog.fr.
Is that the guy from Shining?
No.
Looks a lot like him, actually. Hello, random people.
Unlike anything else, 9 out of 10 Eurogame.
Bioshock 2!
They came out the same year. A marvel of console entertainment. 5 Yahoo! A truly pioneering title, 9.5 out of 10 Game Informer.
Game Informer!
An incredible experience, 91%
VG charts.
Okay.
Why am I not surprised of Game Informer?
The birth of a genre, 9 out of 10 Video Games Daily.
Genre.
Hypnotic and innovative, 6 out of 6 VG Net. Will hook you like few games can, 9 out of 10 IGN, Too Much Water. Fabulous story, 37 out of 40 Weekly Fatimatsu.
If we have to be honest, Famitsu
praises every game.
It's not attainable.
Of course, IGN would praise.
Engaging and thrilling, 9.5. PSN
I don't like IGN.
Deutschland. Revolutionary start for games.
Multiplayer not it. Okay.
One of the most emotional experiences I've ever had. A-, 1 up. The game has changed. 5 out of 5. Official PlayStation
Of course, the official PlayStation magazine. Well, of course.
And
that's it, I guess.
That's it.
That's it. Aww.
So yeah.
Thanks,
so you know who to blame.
Yeah.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you're professional gaming critics, and now you've lost all faith in them. Congratulations.
Yep. Pretty much.
See, that's Heavy Rain, folks.
See you for whenever his PS4 game is released.
With any luck, it never will be.
See you, everybody.